Hello, hello. It is the morning after the election here in the United States of America, and Donald Trump has been announced as the projected winner. In the last video that I shared, it was looking like Kamala was going to pull out, or that she was going to pull ahead in the race, but that didn't happen. But the future is not set in stone. Nothing is written. I mean, I know a lot of people think there's this great master plan, and that's up for debate. Um, so I wanted to take a slightly different approach with this and look at the Lenormand cards. I don't do any fancy editing or anything like that, so this is just what it is. Um, and Lenormand cards are read differently from tarot cards, so if you're not familiar with them, Lenormand tends to be a little bit more straightforward than tarot. So I just wanted to get a view of what was happening around Donald Trump, um, as well as Kamala Harris here the morning after. When I've done readings for them before, actually the only reading where it looked like Kamala might have a better chance at winning than Trump did, it was the video that I posted on YouTube. The readings that I posted on my blog, I couldn't see a clear cut winner. And if anything, it seemed like the odds were more in Trump's favor than they were in Harris's. So, but we know now. We know what it is now. So here I'm just using the star spread to just get a view of what happened. And because Lenormand is so straightforward, it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for imagination. It just kind of tells you like it is. So, I already had these cards drawn. So the center card, the key card, the significator would be the man. In this case, it's Donald Trump. And excuse my little raggedy nails, because, yeah, it's time to redo them. But yeah, the man is Donald Trump. Now, the first card I pulled will be the order that we're going in is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here at the top. So the first card represents the obstacles or stumbling blocks, which would be the whip. The whip, in simple terms, keywords for the whip would be discipline or conflict or arguments. That would definitely be considered to be one of his stumbling blocks, one of his obstacles, because he is such a divisive character. However, even with all of the arguments that he causes, just the mere mention of his name causes, um, in a lot of people love this. I mean, a lot of people hate him too, but a lot of people love this man, and this is interesting. I'll say that. But yeah, all the divisiveness and then all of the random things that he would say and do, that's what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure. It's lost on me at the moment. But basically, he causes a lot of conflict. He strikes or he creates strong feelings in people, either one way or the other. And so that was a big thing for him. Now, the two lessons that we got from this, except for one, challenges are nothing for him. So things that are meant to be challenges, the thing that comes to mind is the whole garbage truck thing. When President Biden called some of Trump supporters pieces of garbage or something like that. It's like, why would you say that? But he did. So Donald Trump went and got a garbage truck and got his name printed on it. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's the whole big ass circus. But that's what apparently a lot of folks were not turned off by that. And with Donald Trump being the opportunist that he is, he took that and ran with it. I guess the same way how back in 2016, Hillary Clinton called his supporters a basket of deplorables. Well, they took that and ran with it, you know. So here we are. So yeah, those challenges ended up being, I mean, they were lessons for him, or lessons for like the majority of his supporters. Like those challenges weren't really challenges. Those mountains weren't really mountains to them. And the tree here represents the second obstacle, the third card, or not the obstacle, second lesson here. Um, the tree represents growth, but it also represents connections, roots, how these roots extend way deep into the ground and they're spread out quite a bit, and branches are all over the place. A lot of people associate family with trees. I know I do. So yeah, his people, they band together. They handle business. They handle business. So what was the result? What was the aftermath? The Sun card, which, like in tarot, the Sun card in Lenormand can represent success and achievement, recognition. Well, I mean, he was successful in this presidential campaign, so here we are. Then number 9, the flower or the bouquet, it represents a gift. This is the outcome, the final outcome of this spread here. The bouquet represents a gift, or it's like recognition. It's flowers are usually pleasant things, and so you know, for him, he's getting exactly what he wanted. He's getting his flowers. Now, I did a spread before this where I did 9 cards, and I'll just say that with those cards that came before this, the book came up, and the book is a card that represents knowledge. Sometimes it's secret knowledge or education or information. And then the snake card came up. So everything ain't clean. It's not, 100% clean victory at all. But it is what it is at this point. So, having said that, I'm going to do all of this with one hand. We're going to see how this works out. I'm going to learn how to edit one day. I have the woman card, and I'm just going to kind of roll these around a little bit. Excuse my poor camera work here. So, in the number 1 position for our obstacle, we have the boat, which represents a travel, farewell. For our fate card or lesson card, which is in the number 2 position, is the heart, which can represent emotional matters, love. Number 3, the other fate lesson here, is the clouds, which can be, disillusionment, misunderstanding. Could also represent secrets. Now the aftermath here is the cross, which can represent, things of spiritual nature, but it can also represent dedication, um, principles, duty. I guess kind of like the Hierophant a little bit in tarot. And then the last card would be Crossroads. The outcome is Crossroads. So Kamala here in the center, she is definitely, she's trying to figure out what she's going to do next. I don't know if this is going to be the end of her political career or not. I kind of thought so when I read cards on her before. Like, if this was the end, then if this didn't turn out the way that she wanted it to, then it might be the end altogether. I don't know. I don't feel like she's going down without a fight. I think there might be some protest on her part. Maybe requesting a recount or something. But I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, with the boat representing travel and possibly saying goodbyes. I mean, this was definitely something that she put her heart into, and maybe she shouldn't have. I don't know. It's a catch-22 when you're a woman. When you put your heart into something, because then you're considered to be too emotional. You know. And then over here, clouds, which, like I said, could mean disillusionment or secrets, miscommunication, just not things not being clear at all. And so I want to piggyback on something that I said in a previous video about there possibly being something in her camp, somebody in her camp who was sabotaging her. I think that's very much a possibility. That not everybody was in her corner who claimed to be, who should have been. But yeah, now she's got to make a decision. She's at a point where she's got to choose what it is that she's gonna do. She has this sense of duty. Like, I really do think that she cared and cares about that position. Whether or not she'd be good in it, that's up for debate. But I do think that she cared. But, it's like, what do we do next? And so this is literally just showing the energy that's around her now. Like, she got to say goodbye. She got to say goodbye. Now, even though I didn't show the cards that I have, that I had pulled for Trump when I did his 9 card spread. Like I said, I did see where there was a lot of, or that there was some secret stuff going on behind the scenes with him. So I'm just going to randomly pull. I'm just dropping stuff. I'm just going to randomly pull out of these cards here. So we got. Now I like doing this because it gives a clearer picture. And there's no reversals in Lenormand either. So if you're not familiar with that, then just because the card is upside down doesn't mean that it means anything in Lenormand. So I read these as they are, or wherever they are, whatever they're sitting next to, whatever's on top of them, whatever's on the bottom. First card we pull is a coffin card, which is death, the end of something, transition. Moon, secrets, very much like the tarot, means secrets, or can represent secrets or intuition or things coming out, you know, at night. And then the book, which is information or knowledge. We have the sun here. Then above the sun, we have the anchor. Above the woman, we have the dog. And we got the key next to the dog. Then last card, we got the mountain. So what we have surrounding the woman here, which would be Kamala Harris, we have success or recognition or just, you know, things being bright in general. We also have challenges. So behind her, there looks like there was success. It looked promising. But in front of her, not so much. Just a bunch of obstacles and mountains that she has to climb. Above her, we have dog, which can represent an actual dog, or it could just represent loyalty. But beneath her is the moon card, which, like I said, represents secrets and intuition. At a diagonal, here we got the anchor, which can represent a new position. It's just something that represents like long-term endeavors or being heavily tied, committed to something. And then there's this knowledge. I think it's interesting how both of these cards allude to knowledge of some sort. Then here we have the key, which, you know, what does a key do? It unlocks things. It locks things or it unlocks them. It can also, you can also look at it as it being the answer to something, right? And then you have the coffin here as the last card, which again, it's death or transition or something coming to an end. So, what do I see here? I see, just looking at the bottom row, an ending because of something secretive, like secret knowledge. At the top here, I see something long-term. Long-term loyalty is the answer for her. So I don't know if, you know, if she does ever decide to come back and try again, she really has to build herself up some more. That short term, throwing her into the race three months before the election, that was risky. That was risky, and that was a risk that didn't pay off. Or maybe it did, you know, maybe it did, because the one thing about this election is that since Trump has been elected again, after this 4 years, he can't run no more. I mean, even regardless of what his intentions were, if he was just going to keep running until he died or what, but regardless of what his intentions were, he got the presidency again, so he can't run again. It's over. So 4 more years. 4 more years and it's a wrap. So if you voted for Kamala and you were absolutely dreading that, you're absolutely dreading having him be in the office for another term, you know, look at the bright side. At least this is last, right? But yeah. But yeah. It's a wrap.